How's it going, guys? I'm Sarcastic here from the Hyperloops. Bobby Sapphire and Jeff Arsenault, also known as Zardra. So, this is the drive back from the Boonton, New Jersey Regional, held by Highlander Games.
Great regional.
Great. They gave away a bunch of credit also, which is pretty phenomenal. So, like, I think first got 200, second I think was like 100, third and fourth 50, and then 25 for factory.
Yep. So diesel, and we've been hearing all season that no one's giving away anything, and that all the stores, I mean, $400 in extra stuff, that's nuts.
500? But yeah.
450, no, 450.
No, 2 plus 1 is 3.
Yeah.
Plus 50-50 is, you're at 4. Plus another 25 times 4 is 100. So you're at 500.
500.
So yeah, 500. They gave away some boxes and, you know, some random prizes and stuff.
Yeah, they did box giveaways too. They gave away a ton.
Yeah.
They did extra playmats for first, second, third, and last.
Custom. I love
custom playmats.
Yep.
I got the Bigs one, which is like,
yeah.
Other than I suck, got third.
Could have been last place. Could have been Jack Morgan.
Yeah, that one actually is probably kind of tight.
That one is kind of cool.
So there's a lot to talk about today, and I get to mess with the fucking camera now. Yeah, woo, boy. So a lot to talk about. I guess we'll talk about how we did first before any sort of controversies. We got paired round 1.
Which is exactly what happened in Boonton last year. After we used our buys, we got paired in round 2.
Correct. So the first time we sit down to play a round, we played against each other. I scooped this time because realistically I had nothing to go for except this bunch of credit, which I wasn't super aware of before I fucking submitted my deck list. Like, I submitted the list and they're like 200 for first, and I was like, can I get my list back? Can we stop playing messing around now? Like, I want to play for reals.
So where'd you end up?
So I ended up going 5-3. I was 5-2 going into the last round. My tiebreaker was .48, which was obscene. What did I get? Bobby Sapphire doesn't like the fucking tightness thing.
Picky.
I'm a fucking picky.
Everyone just turned us off.
Boo! Alright, everyone just turned. Fuck you. Lies. Alright. So, at least we're in the proper shit anymore now. So, yeah, 5-2 going to the last round. Bobo tries to kill us.
We're good.
Not gonna miss his exit, right? It's not an exit, we're just like...
I didn't miss it.
Veering. Yeah. Bye, Felicia. Alright, so as Bobo tries to continue killing us and getting us lost.
As long as we don't pop a tire, I don't care.
We're good.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, if we run out of gas, you get fucked too.
I get AAA.
This is bullshit. Alright, anyways, so back to the thing. 5-2 going to the last round. My tiebreaker is .48, and I'm like 20th place. I'm not getting there. So I'm already in like scoop to my opponent mode, unless I get the pair up. End up playing, I'm going to call him Eardrum. I know that's not how you say it, but every time you try to say it, the way you say it, I don't fucking understand it.
Is it Arden?
Is that Arden?
I thought it was, but I only looked quick.
It might have been E-Arden, or I don't fucking know.
Well, you...
Eardrum. There we go. Eardrum.
You let him beat you into the top 8 where he knocked out me, so...
Yep. Oops. But no, we did play, and he's a former patron. I considered scooping, but I wanted to play anyways. And then I decided, but he beat me, so hooray.
Joe, I was playing next to them, and Joe said, should I scoop to a former patron? And I said, former?
Yeah.
Gosh, him.
X, I used the word X.
X, yeah.
Ex-patron?
Zardra, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I went into the last round, also going in 5-2. I brought my Yoda Boosh, I believe one of only 2 people, and I was able to make it in the top 16, right in the middle of the the tiebreakers. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. My last loss was to a Han Kira. I forget the gentleman's name. Joe
Kwiatek.
Kwiatek, another good player. Put up a good fight. Ended up blowing me out with a paid off 4-speed into a rollout. Into a bait and switch to kill Yoda and essentially end the game. Just shutting down my engine. Great time. A lot of good stuff. And yeah, I think that's it from me.
Jeff's out of his mind. His tiebreaker was also jack shit.
It was.
I was like 20th and he was like 18th.
No, I ended at 16th, but yeah.
Yeah, but going into that round.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was in 6th going into that round.
Yeah.
So that's how many X and 2s there were.
Yeah.
So I had the top tiebreaker of the 5 wins. So I felt pretty good. As long as I won, I was going to be in.
Yep.
I ended up the 6th seed overall. I won my last round against a Vader Greedo. Yeah, Force Jump is just so good. And then I played Kowalski round 2. I played a couple Vader Greedos, and I lost to Snoke Tarkin, Edwin Chen, my nemesis. And I also lost to...
You didn't lose to Beckett Towson, right?
No, I didn't lose to Beckett Towson. Man, it was such a long day.
You were 4-2. So that meant you lost kind of early. I think
I lost to Dan.
Obi Maz.
Obi Maz. Yeah, I lost to Obi Maz. He got like...
Me as well, and I think, did he also beat you, Joe?
No, he didn't. Disc Golf Dan didn't play me.
4-speed, double vibro early, and it was just like...
exact play, yep.
Yeah, I couldn't find my second chance in that game. So I lost, and I beat Vader Greedo in the top 4. Both games, my opponent... Fear and Dead Mend, and then game 2 he Fear and Dead Mend a 4, and then but also had a 3, and I mulliganed 4 into no mitigation, and he just killed Anakin. Like I had only rolled out Yoda, and he killed Anakin and 4'd the rest of my team. But the problem is, and he said this after the round, after the game, was that because he did the Fear and Dead Mend, like that's how he spent his money, and it was good to do the 12 damage, but his board state is so far behind. Game 1, he also Price of Failure round 1. So he did it. He had huge round 1s, and then I was just able to mitigate him the rest of the game for the most part. And then in top 4, I played against the Beckett Towson that I beat in Swiss, and I couldn't find force jumps, and I thought I had game 1 in the bag, and he just pulled out all this mitigation, including like a huge Failure Anger for 2 that just completely blew me out.
Yeah, there was a situation where the guy had like 3 cards left in deck and like 5 in hand.
4 in hand.
Okay, 4 in hand. No, I think it was 5. No, you're 5. He hit all 5. You hit the 2 on the EMP. You had the discard on the Annie's Pod and the discard on Cassian.
Right. So I had the 5 with the clandestine.
With the clandestine to get the 3.
To get the 3.
Yep.
And I was like, this is it. I got this.
And then he got overconfidence.
Overconfidence, which completely blew me out. Because any other spot removal, I'm still pretty good. And then so I re-rolled and rolled a blank on a bartering and blank on Anakin.
But then you hit the discard on Cassian, and Pod was already still on discard, so it's like, all right, back in the saddle, good to go.
And then
you'll take all of it, or you'll take 3 from his hand, leave him at 1, take his deck, and then Feel Your Anger took both of those dice because he hit blanks on both of the other ones. It was debilitating.
Yeah, it was brutal. Yep, and then game 2, I just really struggled to find any dice that mattered. I think I started on like a bartering and then an EMP soon after that, but it's hard because he got Beckett's rifle, which is so good, like it disrupts you when you play it, disrupts your opponent when you play it. And like Jack had told me he lost because he couldn't get resources accumulated, so I was like just making sure that I was gaining a lot of resources. I still was aggressively milling. But one thing I didn't have that I had in a lot of my other matches was shields from, them being on their own feed. In Swiss, I had the shields all 8 rounds. And I got a lot of pod, like I didn't get pod racer, which I love to turn to 2 shields in those matchups, especially early, to just tank up, and I just didn't get it. I didn't get either of my force illusions, I don't think, in game 2. So just
you had the illusion, but your Yoda was already screwed.
Yeah, and his backup muscles were tough, and I had to have flames of backup muscle in game 2 to keep my Yoda from dying.
That one actually might have been a stretch. So, like, keeping your Yoda alive was going to be tough regardless that round.
Right, but he did, right?
He ended up surviving, but, like, the problem was that he dies to any piece of damage. So, like, you did all this shit, and then you claimed to heal, like, a little early, and then he re-rolled and killed the Yoda.
Yeah.
So, like, the thing was is you just really weren't getting real value from your dice anyways, and you probably needed the flames to stop the fist. because you needed to like YOLO mill his deck to get Fist because you weren't winning against Fist.
Right.
So this was less on how do I stay alive and more how do I win. And how do I win was not killing backup muscle. It was
Yeah. I don't know.
like in theory maybe you get some extra value there and he gets screwed and then you come out hot and get like a good chunk of cards, but it probably is not stopping 2 Fists around.
Yeah, ideally I vandalized there, but I think I opened with vandalize and pitched it early, if I remember correctly.
It's very possible. But there was a lot of cards where you needed to like
Draw them in the right order.
draw them in the right order. But like you were holding pacify on stuff. He had like a 2 damage, you chose not to pacify it. Held pacify until the next round. But you took the 2 damage, so now you pacified like a 3 or something, but you stopped 1 extra, but you got stuck with a card that you didn't get to use the prior round.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know what I remember being like, I forgot what action I took instead of pacifying, but I was like, should I
Rolled out.
Yeah, I was just trying to get aggressive there so I could claim. But I was kind of thinking he'd whiffed on the Talzin, right?
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, he didn't roll damage. And then when I rolled, I was like, oh, he had the 2 there. I have the pacify.
Yep.
I let myself take 2. One thing is, like, the games weren't going super fast, so I was trying to play rapidly. Because the best of 3 time frame was already... I was like 7 minutes slower than what I wanted to be going into game 2. We were at 58 minutes.
Yeah.
So I really was conscious of that. And, you know, one of the ways I play the mill is sort of just faster than optimally, because I don't want to get stuck going to time, especially in a best of 3.
Yeah, so it's easy to make like small
mistakes that, like,
right. Sometimes it's not even a mistake. It'll be like a choice, like, you know, the line of play, and it's just not as efficient. So like, because the pacify thing could have been amazing if he re-rolls, and then you take it, and you're like, jackpot, bitch. But like, in that situation, it was just going to be rough no matter what.
Yep.
Beckett's very good at making sure that he always had money, even though he has to pay for everything. You know, so his Beckett 1000 list was quite strong. I still don't like Beckett 1000 as a deck as a whole. I feel like if you don't find pretty much the Beckett rifle or the Fist, you like lose the game. But you got enough removal.
He had waves too.
Yep.
Yeah, Beckett's cool and he's hard to play against, and I think that probably helps. Like a good player, like he seemed like he was good. He was playing around certain things. Like he played around easy pickings a lot, and he played around some other stuff that I thought was pretty good. I thought he was good. So being on Beckett, being a good player on Beckett, like I've watched Joe play Beckett, and I've played against Joe when Joe's on Beckett, and I'm like, oh, this is so hard. I feel like I played against Beckett really well, and he didn't get to abuse that against me, but I bet there's a lot of people who let them abuse.
Beckett gets to just
Beckett just destroys them because of what he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Millionaires is good against. It's like pretty good against Beckett. There's a lot of 1-cost stuff, and yeah, and I think I just played pretty well against Beckett personally.
Shit happens.
Should we talk about the Kowalski thing?
Nope. So we keep hinting at it. Sorry, we're gonna talk about meta.
Okay.
Business before pleasure, friend. Business before. So, meta-wise, we were expecting a ton of the Snoke Sienna Trader.
Yep.
We saw a ton of it.
Yep.
It existed all over the place.
But did not make Top Cut.
It did not make Top Cut. There were a lot of players who were just getting trashed throughout the day. I don't know if it's, lack of understanding with the deck, random inconsistencies, the meta for this area. But Top Cut ended up being a bunch of Vaders and 2 Millionaires and 2 Target Snokes. From my
and the
understanding.
Beckett Talzin.
And the Beckett 1000. So yeah.
There were 2 Target Snokes?
I think it was 2 Target Snokes,
Wow.
yeah. So 3-2-2-1, which is varied enough. The finals right now, we don't know what's going on, but it's Vader Greedo versus 1000 Beckett. So, the Vader Greedos, 2 of them smash each other at one point, and then you smash the other one?
Yep.
Yeah, they ran into each other.
It was Beckett, I'm sorry, it was Vader Bazine.
Yes.
Isaac plays Beckett, why do I keep saying Bazine?
I was calling Vader Greedo because it was supposed to be Kowalski in 8th, but he chose not to play, and then they went to Isaac.
He played Vader Bazine.
Yep. So, Vader's obviously very, very good. A lot of the decks that I saw, I think, had Force Strikes and Bait and Switches, which give them an air of consistency to make sure they get random kills that people aren't aware of.
Yeah,
which is a really huge thing.
I love that style, and when I was thinking about it post Connecticut, that's exactly where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I love Force Strike in it.
Yeah, it'd be like coming out with damage that your opponent doesn't expect is very good when you're a very aggressive deck.
Most random deck you played? I played in the 7th round. We were both X and 2. A Kit Luke Bitter Rivalry, which I thought was crazy that late in the tournament. But you know, that's it can be very tanky, and they both have 50% damage side, so it makes sense.
That guy was actually doing stuff earlier in the rounds. I kept hearing about that deck.
He played against 4 mill decks in a row, 4 different mill decks.
Yeah,
he played against a villain mill with Deja Vu. It was a Deja Vu double down villain mill deck.
I saw that.
And and the guy no disintegrations for 6 because he did the Deja Vu, and then he had 3 no disintegrations in his deck because of double down, which like is pretty savage. I kind of like that.
It's funny. Who knows? Go mess with it. Maybe there's something there.
Could be. There was a Riken 3.
I saw that. Yeah. Yep.
There was a Riken 3 dice mill deck that was crazy
with armored reinforcements. Right?
Yeah, it was armored from Annie's pod, which is just like what the fuck.
What?
Like, you could just run, if you really wanted Annie's pod, you could just run 2 start your engines.
And it lets you get regular pod racer, which you run as all one of or something.
Yeah. And you have like a full team. It was like Kaz, it was Riken, Temple Guard, something.
Anakin?
Probably.
Yeah, Anakin.
Crazy.
Love
Play
it.
anything crazy?
Love it, hate. I don't think so. So it was you, Yoda, Leia, lost to Towson Beckett, beat Qui-Gon Yoda bitter, beat Qui-Gon Yoda bitter.
2 of them?
Yeah, in a row.
Holy cow.
Both of them lost their Yodas round 1. You're fucking
No,
what?
that's how you beat me at Worlds. That's how you beat me at Qui-Gon Yoda at Worlds. OG Qui-Gon Yoda.
I don't think he died round 1 though.
Yoda?
No, he didn't die round 1. They both took a bunch of damage. It looked like I was gonna be able to lethal one of them, but you were able to like shield to make it so I couldn't kill. Like the set of plays I was gonna do doesn't kill both. It was like I could kill Yoda with everything, or Qui-Gon would have 1. And
I think we're getting off topic.
Then you messed up a shield, and I like killed both of them. So, yeah. So what? But that's what vlogs are.
Alright. Sardra, you play anything crazy?
No, as far as like the randomness, I think the only thing that was a little out of ordinary was that Obi Maz. But Dan's been running that for a little over a year. Very good player.
I was going to say the same thing. Like, I was shocked at the Obi Maz. But he's been running it.
Yeah, exactly. He knows his deck, and that's the thing. Yeah, just you get 4 speed, and you get vibro knives, and you roll out 3s, and yeah, that's all you do sometimes. So that was a loss right there. My other loss was Han Kira, another good player, and the third loss was against a Vader. And as a Yoda Boosh player, the Vader matchups can be very tough. He started out with a Fear All Dead Men with 2 4s, and then I felt very, very far behind going into the preceding rounds. He was able to get a fist out, etc. It's a dice game, like, and he had better odds.
Kowalski thing?
Alright. No, meta stuff still.
Okay.
Alright, so we talked about Vader. Tarkin Stoke obviously did good there. Yoda Leia's nowhere in
Didn't see any
existence.
fish sticks. No fish sticks. I know I wasn't a surprise for you guys, but I'm a blue guy, so I had to just
Well, I saw a Kit, so there was some
Pseudo
a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vader's obviously the real deal.
Yeah.
It's been smoothed out quite a bit. Those guys are, crushing it, all sorts of stuff. So that's great. The question still always boils down to is like, were we concerned? So does Vader win a lot because the deck's so amazing, or because the deck's very consistent and tight?
Yes.
And then there's going to be the people who try to hate it out completely, who lose to the people who have like control good decks but then we lose to the other stuff that's like, I probably lose to Vader. This is like, okay.
Yeah,
so it's like,
paper, rock, scissors, eat.
to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent.
But this is like Ravager-esque. It's not as broken as Ravager. So Ravager and Magic the Gathering, shit went like this. You played Ravager, you played a Ravager hate deck, or you were a jackass in the tournament that beat a Ravager hate deck, because you weren't beating Ravager. Ever. So that's similar to this. You're Vader Greedo, you beat Vader Greedo, because you hate them out, or you lose to that jackass that loses to Vader Greedo. We'll crush your shit. And that's the gist. Alright.
And now the meta's over. That's it. This was the last region. Pack
For
it
us,
up.
International still got to do stuff, babe.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a little bit.
They got like a whole month.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's why we got to do these
Damn.
meta
Oh,
damn.
Well, Snoke, Tarkin... Like, I thought that deck would go away. But it did not. It's pretty good.
See what happens. Vader Greedo. Alright. So now we can talk about the shenanigans. Would you first like to talk about round 1 in the Chris Kowalski's experiment?
Round 1 is in, like...
No, round 2.
Like
no, it was round 1.
What happened round 1?
Round 1 we got paired against each other and you took a picture of the fucking... the pairings.
Yeah.
And then you said there... He said,
Oh, he said... Oh, yeah. So, me and Kowalski have not been getting along lately. And I took a picture of the pairings and I was, like, sending a picture to the Discord. And he was like, why don't you post it online like a big baby? Like a big baby. And I was like, I didn't even realize he was talking to me at first, but then I realized, like, oh, he's talking about the Sugi thing, because I posted it online.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe he said that. And Lawler, the TO, was right there. So I told Lawler, and he's like, oh, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay, whatever.
Well, like,
I'll let it go.
The way you talked about seeing our pairing, though, was kind of, like, bitchy, but you were joking, but the problem is that you're straight-laced, so then, like... Your straight-laced bitching looks like actual bitching and someone being like a prude.
Yeah, I mean, I did give the tournament organizer, like the store owner, a lot of shit because we got paired up in the first round last year. So, like...
Second round,
but still.
We both used our buys and they got paired. It was our first round of playing, we played each other.
Yeah.
Both times.
So, I was like, it is suspicious. It might be a coincidence, but it's a suspicious one. Anyway, round 2, I get paired against Kowalski. And he's like, of all the fucking people I could possibly get paired with. And I just, like, I didn't want to start any shit. I didn't say shit. I just shuffled. We didn't say any pleasantries. We just played a pretty tight game. It was close. He was playing Vader. And, his build was cool. And he had meditation out. But I was like, hey, look, there's an errata to that. There's a then there. And I just want to get the TO so we know when the then is. Because I just want to make sure that he couldn't draw what he put down the bottom. And he was a little indignant because he was like, I don't know, he just felt like I was being, I don't know, I was accusing him of something. He felt like he reacted that way multiple times during the game. And I was like trying to be like, I just want to make sure that we both know how it works. So anyway, he can put a card on the bottom of his deck, he just can't draw it right away.
Unless he heals a blue guy.
Right, and I wasn't going to do any damage to Vader with my mill deck. So, and at the end of the game, I was like, I think it's GG's. I don't think there's a way for you out of this. He's like, yeah, I'm just making sure I'm not going to slow play you like this. The game's over this round. So he definitely was on edge. And then I don't think anything crazy happened up until the final round, right? You didn't hear any crazy Kowalski stories, did you?
Well, people talked about whatever stuff happening, but they just weren't super sure. But yeah, so final round. We're in the big room. Upstairs. They're actually next to me. I'm playing Eardrun, who crushed me, then crushed Bobo. Top 4. So, Kowalski's playing Little Twig.
Yeah.
Top deck TCG.
Chris Twig, yep.
Yeah, I was trying to get the shout out, but I was questioning the website.
Yeah, topdecktcg.com.
Yeah.
For all your Transformers and shit.
and shit.
And Destiny and shit.
Alright, but yeah, so they're playing. Something happens round 2 where it's like a Beckett power action after a Theed, and Twig saying that Kowalski has one more resource than he should have. So they call the judge over. But anyone who's pretty much used to Twig pretty much knows that he talks really fast and kind of amped. And at times it kind of just seems irrational. But that's just how he does stuff. Like, this is just how he talks. There's no, like, him going crazy there, per se. But it sounds like
he was going crazy.
He was going crazy.
Well,
he talks like that in general.
But he's just always like that. So it's hard to tell. But he was, like, screaming.
Well, it was after multiple minutes of defending his position.
I don't know how
that's later.
quickly he went.
We're talking about just the resource thing. So they call judge.
It seemed like he went 0 to 100
real quick. Yeah.
Very fast. As someone who goes 0 to 100 very fast,
yeah.
He seemed like he went there very, very quickly.
But it's one of those things where, because of Kowalski's rep, it seems like everybody goes 0 to 100 immediately.
Right.
It's like even if Kowalski made like a blatant mistake, and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's immediately like, you tried to cheat me, you should be disqualified.
Right.
Like, motherfucker, like, I make mistakes. I'm not saying Kowalski didn't do that or did that or anything like that, but I'm just saying in general. Whereas if he made an accidental mistake, even if he did, it would be 0 to 100 because of the rep.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah, that
exacerbated it because, it just, you go in there with that baggage that you're on edge and I can't believe you tried that. You're supposed to be better, you know?
Yeah. But
people
anyways,
do make mistakes. I mean, it's a complicated game. There's a lot of moving pieces.
So there was arguments as to, like, what round it was, and, it was like, it's round 2.
Chris Twig thought it was round 2, and Kowalski thought it was round 3.
Yep, and
so
then
they spun everything back.
They, try to count the cards, and they somehow counted, 13 cards for Kowalski, and Twig's just like, no, man, it's round 2. There's no way I would have went through that many cards. And, instead of logically saying what actually occurred round 1 and or round 2, because they're in the middle of round 2 according to Twig, and that being proven that way, it turned into a more of an I don't know, and that boils down to kind of just not being aware entirely of board states at all times.
Right.
Because, we're in round 2, Vader did stuff. At all fucking times, I should know what Vader fucking did. Did Vader smash me before and then grab shields? Did Vader do 2 and then 3? I should be knowing what I was afraid of when Vader rolled out, what Vader hit,
right?
What situations I'm in. This isn't something where you kind of question what's going on when it's just Vader and the feed and then whatever upgrade got cast.
Right, and the big thing is Kowalski swore he resolved a 2 resource side
and then resolved a 4.
And Chris Twig said, "There's no way you did that." But when they said, all right, if it wasn't 2 resources, what was it? He said he didn't know. So that right there, it's tough to it's tough to be like, Kowalski, you're definitely wrong, because Chris didn't volunteer any alternative die side.
Yeah, it wasn't like you resolved the 3 here to put this 3 damage, you then 4'd me here. That's why this guy has 6 damage, because I had a shield.
Right. It should have all been worked out.
Because it could have been a resource came off of Dagger of Mortis to pay for the 4, because that's what happened. So he did, and then played a Dagger, and then he somehow resolved a 4 for 1, but he can't resolve a 4 for 1 without finding another resource. So the resource has to come from somewhere. It either came from Dagger or it came from Vader, but you should know this. So it's not something that you easily question, and it boils down to players that have played a billion games at top levels and kind of get judge calls. They're aware of how to explain the situation. You explain it calmly, you talk whatever, because the judge is gonna ask both sides of what occurred. So if you have this happened here and the other person's no, that didn't happen, you're gonna need to be able to be this occurred. This
you don't want to be the crazy one.
You don't want to be the crazy one, because if you can explain exactly what happened and the opponent says no, but then can't counter it, then pretty much what one person said happened, because the other person can't.
Yeah, they don't have an argument.
Yeah. So it's just so that went bad there. They continue playing or whatever. They realize it's actually round 2, because whoever fucking can't count realized there was 11 cards now. And the reason there was an 11th card for Kowalski was Trust Your Instincts. So if they got counted properly the first time, they probably could have done a better play-by-play through round 1. But that boils down to, again, 13 cards. Well, why is there 13 cards there? I don't know. Nah, motherfucker. Go count that shit again. How did we get to this stage of life? But anyways,
especially round 2. Like, how do you not rewind from mid round 2?
From like the third action round 2, yeah, or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, so it's just like, all right, so that goes whatever.
But the screaming goes on for a long time. It was making everyone uncomfortable.
Oh,
I was next to Joe. I was on the other. So Joe was next to. I was next.
And I was behind them.
Yeah, and like my game interrupted multiple times. And like my opponent, who was wearing my sunglasses because the glare was coming through right on his eyes, we were just like, oh my god, like I just need a second. But at the same time, like we can't wait too long because I'm on mill. Yeah. So it was just crazy.
It made our table very uncomfortable.
Yeah, everyone was just like, what? And they could even hear the screaming on the stream, I guess, Jack said.
Yeah. So I was sitting at the legit table, and I paused each time, and I didn't need to, because, like, I was actually fine. But I paused, and I'm like,
I just watched it.
I need to.
I was literally saying, I'm like, I want to see.
It's like a car accident.
Well, because I wanted to see what it is, because I figured this may come up later, like, what happened.
Like right
so
now.
Pretty much. Yeah. So I was like, I want a better understanding of what's going on, but, like, it was...
Now, this is the crazy shit, because Joe and I were watching, like, Joe was sitting, I was standing right above him. We were watching the entire time, talking, and, like, Lawler was there, too.
So, they kind of finished the game. As far as we're concerned, they're close to the end, they're on the last piece or whatever, or someone did something. But, at the end of it, Kowalski says, he concedes, essentially. The exact words verbatim are inadequate if the words come from out, but it is essentially
you take it.
It was pretty much like, if it means as much to you, it's yours. But he was actually pretty much saying he was saying he conceded. He was like, you win.
Yeah, you got it, you win.
So the thing is,
you think I cheated, you win. You take it. All like that's paraphrasing, but it was like that kind of language several times to Twig, and Twig gets up and basically guts his stuff and storms out. And Go reports that he won.
Yeah, it made it sound like there was an okay there.
I mean, do you not take a concession? No, I refuse to take your concession. Yeah. That would never happen. So Chris Twig...
it definitely could happen.
It could.
Yeah.
But not the way Chris Twig was acting towards Kowalski.
Yeah.
No way. So Chris Twig goes and reports that he won. And we just expect, like, you know, everything normal. We walk outside. Chris Twig, congrats on the 6-2. Twist.
Kowalski then says that he won.
He goes and reports that he won. Oof. So both players reported that they were each the winner. Yep. And me, Joe, and Lawler all watched Kowalski concede. And I said, I won't, like, you don't need me as a witness, because I'm definitely, like, me and Kowalski don't get along, and I'm sure he would attack that if I volunteered. But it was enough that Joe and Lawler definitely witnessed it.
So there was a small stage that's missing from what you're stating. It's slightly incorrect. So Lawler knew that they were having whatever discussion about this concession bullshit.
Discussion?
No, there was a discussion, essentially, because, like, the problem was when I looked over, I saw, like, what looked like lethal damage on both players' boards. But the way that Kowalski was acting, I thought he was just like, you know, if you want it, take it, whatever, you win. But, like, had already fucking lost because Twig was just resolving damage to kill him, and he was being a little shit.
Right. Same, because of his hand gestures
so, like, that was my understanding when he was saying this concessions. I just figured this is crazy concession bullshit. But what happened was it was, like, mentioned to Lawler, and Lawler was like, you guys talk about it, let me know whatever you decide. No one came back to let him know the decision. Or essentially, Twig left there, and then Kowalski was like, I won.
And what really, like, I get that a store is trying to, like, cut overhead and doesn't want to do match slips, so they don't have to waste paper, time, and effort. Even though I feel like it's way more effort to do what they did. But there were no match slips at this event. And that would have, like, having a match slip there would completely eradicate all of this. Because both players can't get up. They have to fill it out and sign it. Mm-hmm. And, like, without that, it just opened up this whole mess. Which sucks, because it's the store's fault for, like, you know, cutting a corner there. Like, if you're gonna do that, just do the Best Coast pairing thing.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to enter it into the app, and, like, there's a lot of reasons not to like Best Coast pairings, but if, like, all you want to do is cut paper, like, you need something, because what they did was just have people walk around checking, and if the guy who walks around checking is like, you guys figure it out and talk to me, which is, like, pretty customary in FFG games. Like, they want the players to work it out. I'm sure, like, 99 times out of 100, 999 times out of 1,000, whoever reports is correct. But we just have this one, and it's like obviously got to be someone who's notoriously watched for his past behavior.
Like, realistically, if I was going to guess what occurred, is that it went down like this. Kowalski conceded. Twig was being a little shit even after the concession. Kowalski pretty much like, fuck you, Indian give, you don't get that concession.
Yeah. I think that Chris's behavior just like hurt his argument when he was trying to talk to Lawler, hurt his argument when he was trying to talk to Scott, the store owner, and like obviously turned Kowalski completely against him. That there was no, like, Chris was being unreasonable, so there was just no avenue for Chris to be like, you know what, Kowalski, I'll be reasonable too.
Yeah,
because
so
you're being unreasonable.
He was saying Twig was being unreasonable, not Kowalski was being unreasonable.
I mean, yeah, but the point I'm trying to say is like Kowalski's like, well, if you're not being reasonable, why would I be reasonable? Which I can identify with. And the thing is, I've known Chris Twig like 3 decades, and he's a good guy, and I don't think he was like at fault other than not really being able to control his emotions, which is not easy for plenty of people to do. It just sucked that in this situation he probably could have come out on top if he just like wasn't so excitable, which sucks.
Yep.
So anyway, so then Kowalski gets the prizes and goes home and doesn't play in the top 8, allowing Isaac to get into the top 8 and lose in the first round.
Which is hilariously interesting. Because he clearly gave no fucks.
Because he could have just taken the loss and let Chris Twig get that top 8 slot.
Correct.
But he was like, no.
But, once again, that's probably because after the concession, Twig is still subject to being a little shit, if anything. Like, if you think the person's cheating you, whatever, that's fine. If the person actually concedes to you, you should probably be really magnanimous at that point. Because, like, if the person wanted to cheat you, fine. Maybe they're trying to play this game to fix their rep, but his rep's fucking destroyed. But once that came up, it didn't pretty much matter what was going on. They were going to accuse him of cheating, and then he conceded the game in order to try to make his rep good because he got caught cheating. That's the storyline there, if that goes through like that. And now it's like Indian give, fucking crazy shenanigans. That's even just far worse. Funnier. Great for news stories, but fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But
and that's the thing. The high road is always the winning road. It's always the winning road. Yes, it is. Imagine, like, think about that post I made about Sugi. Imagine, like, 2 minutes after I posted it, Sugi was like, Mike, you're right. I'm sorry. I would look like a fucking asshole. I mean, I already looked like an asshole, but I would look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The high road is the good road. Take the high road. I'm not strong enough to take the high road. But if people take the high road, they'll win.
He did mention on Discord he apologized, by the way.
Did he really?
Yeah. He did it way before that, but he didn't mention it to anybody. It took like another day.
Took another day. A couple people knew that he apologized.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, shit happens, and the way stuff is kind of portrayed and comes out is going to be awful. And Kowalski's pretty much just fucked, because anytime anything happens, if someone's... And, like, the worst part is this. So let's say I'm Kowalski in the situation. I know for a fact a bunch of people have fucking sat there and be like, where'd you get that resource from? Like the 8 million resources I made fucking earlier? Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You can play Fist all of a sudden? Yeah. And it's just like, I do it real slow, and it's just people aren't paying attention to board states. So, like, they're not aware how many resources you had the entire time. They weren't like, alright, he has 1 resource left, he could have this removal or this card half the time. And then they go into the next round and they should have been like, I was concerned with X card the entire time, all the way through the end, and it didn't come out. So this is what they had for available resources. But it's a lot of time it's just too low level for some of the stuff that's going on. Like, not paying attention to exactly how much damage was on characters, shields, blah, 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 all the shit. But, like, I fuck up the shield thing sometimes. Like, I get it screwed up with, what's your stupid upgrade on Yoda?
Force jump?
Yeah. Because Force jump does the stupid special thing, then gets a shield usually at the end. And I'll, like, hit a guy and I'll be like, you should have 1 more damage. And they're like, nah, man, I had a shield. Where the fuck did you get the shield from? Force jump. Oh, yeah.
My force jump, I think every time I rolled it end of round, after they claimed, it got a shield. My force jumps were fire this weekend. I love my force jumps. Yoda, on the other hand, will double disrupt all day long. And I was telling Ed Chen about how bad my Yoda dice were rolling disrupt, and as I was rolling my first time with Yoda against him, he said double disrupt, and I let go of the dice, boom, boom, disrupt, disrupt.
Nice.
It was savage. Ed Chen is in my
I didn't know
head.
they only hit disrupts. I definitely would have gave you mine.
I wish they were cranking in the Yoda. I mean, against Vader Greedo in the top 8.
Yeah.
But all day long in Swiss, it was just disrupt, disrupt, disrupt.
Shoot. It's like, but that's life. Them's the breaks.
Yep.
Shit happens.
Yep.
Not here to really condemn people. Just telling you the news. But crazy.
Yeah, and it went on a while. Like it probably went on for like 45 minutes after the final round.
That was legit a waste of 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like we were trying to figure out who was top 8, so we can go get food because there was going to be the break.
Yeah, and they
then,
do like a whole announcement and clap with everyone there, and they were giving out prizes. So like, I didn't want to ditch that.
Yeah.
But as soon as they were like 30 minutes for dinner, I like pushed people out of the way, and I was the first one out the door going to dinner.
So we sat down with Quatek and oh my god, I can't remember her fucking name. Shit. Sorry, bro. Don't remember your name. But
Rip.
we were at the Wings and Raw bar,
Oh, nice.
and they had 60-cent shrimps.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Hot
Jumbo?
or cold.
Yeah, they were
Big
jumbo
cold
shrimp.
shrimp. Oh,
They were like the size of my index finger.
is that good?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
good enough. But you had to peel them.
Oh, Joe has never peeled shrimp before.
I've never peeled shrimp.
I'm gonna get gas at this thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
I've
don't
only
know if we
ripped tails off. And so I got like 15 hot ones. And then
half dozen cold.
and then everyone ordered, and then I got another 6 cold. Because I was like, I want cocktail sauce. Because the hot ones came with butter. But yeah, that was amazing. It
What
cost
about when you
$12.60.
wash your hands with butter?
Came to $16. Oh yeah. So then I finished, and the cold ones were on ice. So I take the ice, and I'm just like going over my hands and shit. Fucking Zarger thinks I'm fucking rubbing butter all over my hands.
I didn't know what he was doing.
Is this the one where that guy accosted me? No, this is.
If it's New Jersey though, it's they're all full serve.
No, we're in Connecticut. Okay.
Gucci.
Wait, full service even at this time?
Yeah.
Jersey it's a law.
It's
Really?
a lot. Yeah. But all right, guys.
Are we
out
stopping? Or are we gonna keep going?
I don't know. What do you want to fucking talk
I feel
about?
like we had more to say.
All right, fine. Go pump your gas.
I was gonna say do vlog part 2.
But don't you want to go in and like? I think I might get a snackster.
Yeah. So we're done here.
All right, we're done.
We ain't got shit to say. You got anything to say, Bias? Zarger, you want to say
I'm all
anything?
set. Got a 2.5 hour drive home.
I didn't have a milkshake, and therefore there was no milkshake power and no top cut. Therefore, you now know milkshakes power the top cuts.
Yep. And I'm pretty pissed at myself for losing the top 4. I wanted this one. 3 Vaders in the top cut. I thought I had a good chance. I would have loved to have faced Nate in the finals.
But all right, we are outie. Hyperloop's out. You guys have a good one. Deuces.
Later.